Welcome back. Previously, we were discussing about preparation of fund flow statement and what are the steps that are required to be prepared while dealing with fund flow statement. And we were discussing in detail the first step, that is schedule of changes in working capital. And we have discussed in detail the schedule in its format. And today we will discuss about the case that comes under schedule of changes in working capital. So previously we have discussed this format and we are going to deal with a application level case. Here you are given a question. Usually you will be given a question like this where a balance sheets, two balance sheets will be given. Balance sheet of a certain concern relating to two accounting period will be given. Why two account period is because, for example, here land and building. In order to study the change in this particular item, you need to compare two amounts. That's why they are given to a balance sheet. So here and a balance sheet of X Limited of certain regarding certain period 2011 and 12 is given, and what is meant by it is 2011 whether it is a previous year or a current year. It's a previous year, and 2012 is current year. That is, this one is the first amount that is in the first column, and this one is the second one in the second column. Remember that parts, because all these areas are the areas you students come across careless issues. In this question, you are asked to prepare schedule of changes in the working capital, and we all know what is meant by schedule of changes in working capital. This somewhat look like this. You need to prepare schedule of changes in working capital depending upon the detail in this question. There are numerous items is given because since it is a balance sheet, there will be numerous items. From that, you need to identify what all items are current assets and what all items are current liability. That is the first basic thing you need to be familiarized with, because knowing to prepare all these four steps, that is, we have discussed it previously, four steps in the preparation of fund flow statement doesn't mean that you will get the right answer. All these basic steps has to be familiarized. That is, what are the items that comes under current assets and what are items that comes under current liability. So let's prepare a schedule of changes in working capital depend upon the details given in the balance sheet. So a schedule of changes in working capital is prepared by starting with a heading. Remember, schedule of changes in working capital, it consisting of 5 columns. First one, particulars, followed by the year given in the question. Year means the beginning year that is given in the question. Second column is for the year following the beginning year, that is previous year and current year. First one, it begins with current assets, and just go through the question. The first item, there is no first item regarding selection of current asset. Any current assets can be written in your discretion order. You can either choose stock and trade, sundry debtors, prepaid expense, cash in hand, cash at bank, whatever it is, as per your discretion. Here in the question, the first item is stock and trade. Stock and trade is 1,20,000 and 1,40,000. So note it down, 1,20,000. Remember, you need to put the year properly. A mere writing of year in any order doesn't mean that you will get the correct answer. You have to give the first year to the first column, followed by the year following year to the second column. So in the 2011 it was 1,20,000, and in 2012 it is 1,40,000. So if you go through it, you can see that there is an increase of 20,000 because current asset has been increased. So increase of 20,000. So that 20,000 has to be shown in this column, because increase in current assets means there is an increase in working capital. So that change, that difference has to be noted in this place. Since there is no decrease, you can use either dash or nil, whatever it is. So first item is stock and trade. Next item is sundry debtors. In the first year is 60,000. In the second year it is 45,000. So note that sundry debtors is 60,000 followed by 40,000. It means there is a decrease in the debtors amount of 15,000. So when there is a decrease in current asset, it means decrease in working capital. So the difference amount has to be shown accordingly. Next item, Prepaid expenses at the beginning in 2011 it was 10,000, in 2012 it was 25,000. So note it down, prepaid expenses 10,000, 2011, in 2012 it is 25,000. If you go through the amount, you can see that there is an increase in the amount by 15,000. So whenever there is an increase in current asset, that means increase in working capital. So 15,000 in the increase in working capital column. Next item, cash at bank. Cash at bank in 2011 it was 70,000, in 2012 it was 50,000. So there is a decrease in current asset by 20,000. 20,000 means difference in these amounts. So you will get 20,000 and that amount has to be shown in the decrease in working capital column, because any current assets whose decrease will lead to decrease in working capital, and the amount, difference amount has to be shown accordingly. Next item, cash in hand. At the beginning of the year there was 20,000, after that year there was 30,000. See, in 2011 it was 20,000, in 2012 it was 30,000. So cash in hand 20,000 first year, followed by 30,000. So there is an increase in the amount of current assets by 10,000 rupees. That 10,000 has to be shown accordingly. So we have recorded almost all the item of current assets given in the question. If there is any other current asset, please notify. So once you dealt with current assets, you need to show the total of current assets like this, and you need to put a capital A sign within the brackets. This is for your convenience purpose, and first column has to be total, and this total amount has to be written, and the second column also has to be total, and the amount has to be noted. No such total has to be done for increase in working capital and decrease in working capital amounts relating to current assets. We will do the totals at the end of this schedule. So you need to find the totals of the current assets of the 2 years only, not in the case of increase or decrease in working capital. Once you have dealt with current asset, you have to go for the next heading, current liabilities. Current liabilities, under here we have sundry creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses. So current liabilities, first item is sundry creditors. 2011 it is 90,000 and 2012 it is 1,25,000. So 90,000, 1,25,000. If you go to the amount, you can see that there is an increase in current liability. Remember, in case of current liability, if there is an increase, it will lead to decrease in working capital. So the difference in the amount of creditors is 1,25,000 minus 90,000, you will get 35,000, and it has to be shown in the decrease in working capital column because there is an increase in current liability. Remember the basic rule which we have dealt previously, that is the sole concept of preparing schedule of changes in working capital. After that, you have to prepare bills payable. Bills payable in 2011 it was 30,000 and in 2012 it was 25,000. There is a decrease in current liability, that is bills payable. There is a decrease of 5,000 in the amount. So the decrease or the difference amount has to be shown in the increase in working capital. Remember, the role of current liability is just the opposite of current asset, or vice versa. And rules of current asset is just the opposite of current liability. You need to familiarize or thorough with any one rule. If you can remember all these rules, then it's fine. If you can't, at least try to familiarize any one rule. So after bills payable, next item is outstanding expenses. At the beginning 25,000 and in the next year it was 35,000. So outstanding expenses 25,000. In the second year it was 35,000. So there is an increase of 10,000. So when there is an increase in the current liability, that will lead to decrease in working capital. So we have almost completed or recorded all the current assets and current liabilities in the schedule. So once you have done all that, you need to take the total of current liabilities. For that, you need to give total current liabilities capital B. You need to take, remember, take the total of only these current liabilities. Never ever add all these items and put it as total. Here, whenever you are taking current liabilities, take all these amount 90,000, 30,000 and 25,000. Never include the amount above amount, that is amount of the current assets. Here also you need to add all these items, you will get the total of total current liabilities, and never ever take the total of these changes in or increase or decrease in working capital relating to current liability. We will deal that part as a whole by the end of the schedule. Next one, this part is important. Next means working capital. We know the equation working capital is current assets minus current liability. Here the current assets total is 2,80,000 in the first year and 1,45,000 in the first year. That is total of current liability. You need to take the difference between 2,80,000 and 1,45,000. You will get 1,35,000 working capital. Similarly, you need to find the working capital of 2012, that is total of current assets minus total of current liability. You will get 1,05,000. And if you go through the amounts, you can see that there is a decrease in working capital, because at the beginning of the year the working capital was 1,35,000, but by the end of the second year that amount of working capital was 1,05,000. So there is a decrease in the working capital of the concern. And how you are going to represent that amount? This is how you have to solve. Whenever there is any decrease, that means just like a preparation of a ledger account, you need to show the balance amount in the total where that is smaller. Here the 1,05,000 is smaller, so you need to show the difference amount in that area. So decrease in working capital is 30,000. And regarding here, how you got this 30,000? If you take the difference of these two columns, you can see that this side will be the larger and this side will be smaller. So here also you need to put the balance amount in the column where the amount, the total amount is smaller. This is how you need to prepare a schedule of changes in working capital. Once you have done the decrease or found out the decrease in or increase in working capital, you can finally take the total of all these. Remember, here the total means not the total of all these amount. Here this total of working capital. Working capital 1,35,000. Here also 1,35,000. As I mentioned earlier, here we are doing the property of a ledger account, preparation of ledger account, where we will show the amount or total amount which is higher on both sides and the difference amount in the total where it is smaller. Similarly, here if you take the sum of these two total, the amount will be different. So take the amount that is higher. Here it is 80,000, this side is higher, that is decrease in working capital. Here also decrease in working capital. If your computations and your schedule is correct, this 30,000 and the difference here will also be same and on the proper side. If there is a decrease in working capital, the amount will be in the current year column, and here the difference amount will be in the increase in working capital column. These are the basic tricks for easy analyzing and convenience. Just go through all these cases, understand this concept. We will discuss about the next preparation statement or the next step in the preparation of fund flow statement. Just understand all these concepts and we will discuss in detail the further aspects in the coming sessions. That's all for today. Thank you.